I hope you're smiling because it's me, Rye. Welcome back to Take Care of Your Body by Rye. I'm your host, Rylan Rosano, and I'm so excited you're here to join me on this journey of becoming the best versions of ourselves. My podcast is for anyone who's interested in health, wellness, and healing, and I'm truly so excited and so proud of you for taking the steps to do something for you today. This episode is so enticing and inspiring. And I'm just truly amazed to know this beautiful soul. And I think you'll really love and resonate with this one. But before we get started, make sure you follow the podcast on your favorite podcasting platform to stay up to date every Wednesday and Saturday for new episodes. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram. You can find the podcast and my wellness Instagram at Take Care by RY. And for all things personal, author, and just behind the scenes of my creation, follow Rylan, Rosee. So it's RYLIN, ROSEE, to learn a little bit more about my life and what I'm up to when I'm not podcasting or writing. You can find my two books that I have published out right now on Amazon. Once Upon a Time, I Survived Myself, which is my poetic healing memoir written about my life from my heart for your heart to inspire you and get you out of whatever you're going through, because it truly is written for anyone who's been through anything hard. And my second book is my Take Care Not Yet Healed or Ready workbook, which is a simpler but guided journal for anyone who wants to heal in a less heavy way. It's perfect for Christmas, so maybe add it on your wish list. And I'm so excited to announce my next book, Everything Was Here But You, will be coming out in February 2026. This one touches on grief, heartbreak, and those weird questions we all have as humans, but we don't really get answers to. I get the answers. I have them for you, and I'm going to share. And it also is that weird feeling of emptiness when we have a really full and beautiful life, but it still feels like something or someone is missing. I'm so excited to release that one and just share the journey with you guys. But again, thank you for being here and for joining me. Also, I'm sorry for kind of going MIA. A lot has been going on. I turned 19, crazy, I know. I ended up doing a 18 lessons I learned podcast episode in the copyright laws or whatever. It was all weird. So I had to re-upload it. So make sure you check that one out. It's really inspiring on love, life, and just overall lessons I learned throughout my 18 years of living. And now I'm 19 and I'm so ready for what this year has for us both and for everything coming up. So again, thank you for being here. I adore you, and I'm so excited for you to listen to this episode. And I'm so sorry for the long intro, but I'm Rylan, and I hope you love me anyways. Mwah. Hey everyone, today I'm honored to welcome a very special guest. Hi, Becky. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm so well. I mean, you read Once Upon a Time I Survived Myself, so I had to have you on the podcast for that reason and because you're amazing and you're so inspiring and you are a survivor yourself. And I just hope you know how much I look up to you.
Well, thank you. Ditto. I'm very inspired by what you do. I'm very inspired by your book as well. Your book was beautiful. I loved it. I loved it all. It was beautifully written. I've resonated with a lot of it, and the detail. It made the story seem beautiful as well, like the intricate details as well. It was a really, really lovely book. My first book I've ever finished, and I loved it.
Oh my God, that is such an honor because I love you and I appreciate you and I look up to you and I'm the first book you've ever finished. Like, I'm gonna go cry after this. Like, that means so much to me.
No, it was really lovely. And also the reason I resonated it was with it so much is because it talks about obviously survival, because not all survival is visible. A lot of people can think you're doing okay when actually you're not. And it's sometimes, we do so much for other people, we forget to do stuff for ourselves. So a lot of the lines I remember reading, I was like nodding to it. I was like, yep, so I understand the vision that you were going for. You told it beautifully. So I'm very grateful that you wrote it. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for being you. Okay, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone listening? Because I know you, I'm obsessed with you. Let's make them obsessed.
Well, thank you. My name's Becky Louise Smith, and I am a ICF accredited empowerment coach. I'm a domestic violence and sexual abuse survivor, and I help women reclaim their self-worth and love again. because I think from survival, self-worth is something that we've always had it, but it's like reclaiming it back. So stepping into your power and just being the most powerful, confident version of yourself. And that's my mission. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I want to do. So yes.
I love that. And you're in the United Kingdom. I mean, I'm coming to visit. Can I?
100%. I will take you out to all the good spots. Basically, I'm in a city called Brighton and Hove. So I live right down below London and right down the south. So Brighton's got a very different accent. This accent specifically is a very Brighton accent. And you should come. We live down by the sea, get some fish and chips, get you a cooked breakfast. I love food. I saw you posted about a bakery today. I literally wanted to eat everything because I love cake. So we do it all.
We're gonna go to the bakery. I'm coming, manifesting it like it's happening. I will be there. So it's a dream.
Manifesting it now.
Manifesting it now, literally. Then we can do a podcast part two in person.
Whilst eating cake.
Exactly, while eating cake. I mean, come on, that's
Yeah.
perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm literally living the dream right now.
No, exactly. Like you're such a ray of sunshine. So honestly, just talking to you is such an honor for me. I want to ask you, what is one thing you wish someone understood about survivors right away and the survival process?
As in, so, as in an outsider or a survivor wanting to heal what they knew about the process?
I would say someone who maybe has had it a little bit easier and hasn't had to survive or go through a lot and want to understand maybe their friend or their loved one that's been through hell and back.
Yeah, I would say that because everybody's journey is very different, everyone is affected in their own way. And when you speak to someone, they might seem like they're doing okay and they might seem like they've got it together, but actually, they probably just want someone to ask if they're doing okay. Um, Also, it's not a one process fits all. So whilst you may look at, say, for example, my experience, I've left two abusive relationships. Some of my friends might talk to me and think I'm having a really good day. But then something could happen years later where I might just have a really, everything has seemed fine, I see fine, and then actually I'm just having a bad day because maybe something's triggered it. And it's just to understand that while someone may have be on their healing journey, it doesn't mean it ends there. It's a constant process of trying to figure things out and get stronger each day. So if you know someone that's experienced any kind of survival, really just being gentle with them and understanding that one day they might seem like they're doing well and the next day it could completely change, and just be gentle and kind to them and understand that maybe, for example, can get quite emotional, and I know I've been labeled not very resilient, which is a complete opposite to what I am, but
Or
try
badass.
and
Excuse me, who says that about you? I'm gonna come bite them. I mean, going up.
I'll bring come with me. So like I've been labeled as not very resilient because for example, if people are being quite rude or quite aggressive, it can upset me, especially, if someone's shouting at me because I've triggered of domestic violence. So just because you see someone getting emotional or expressing emotion doesn't mean, not to label them like not resilient. It's actually a very insulting to label a survivor not resilient, because all survivors as have survived hell, so we're the most resilient and the most strong ever.
Truly. And a lot of us have been through things like these people that are judging us couldn't even handle or go through or think about going through. And I think there's a big misunderstanding, especially with PTSD and CPTSD. I have a little bit of CPTSD and I've had people look at me like a song just played. Why are you panicking on the floor thinking it's the end of the world? But just because it's a song, you don't know the meaning behind it. You truly don't know what someone is going through unless you sit them down and ask them like, hey, how are you today? Like, how's everything going? Tell me about your day. Tell me about your mindset, etc. And it's like the person you look at in the grocery store and you're like, wow, they're being nasty today or they seem weird. Maybe they're having a really hard day battling some thoughts about something that happened 5 years ago. Because a lot of people don't realize just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it won't affect me now in the future or in current relationships.
Exactly that. And also, I think, there could be, so my trauma, for example, when I realized I had been sexually abused, didn't come up until I was in my teens. So I blocked it out. So even when you think that you've got to the point where you're feeling good, there could be something that has brought up another layers because trauma has so many layers to it. And so there's like, so, and it's also about, I've done a post on this today actually, just like when you leave an abusive relationship, that's the first step. Then your body will be in survival mode, and then you have the second step. So, and there's so many layers to it. So it's just understanding that it's not just about surviving something and then everything's okay. There will be days when you have bad days, good days, and you just be kind to each other is just be kind and understanding that someone you talk to could be having a dreadful day and you just ask if they're okay, probably is the best thing to start doing.
Truly. So, I mean, I want to ask you, like, was it hard for you to trust a good, healthy relationship given what you experienced in the past?
In the beginning, yes. I think when you've been with a abusive partner, it's the first thing. I don't want to generalize because everyone's story is different, but trusting that someone else isn't going to do that to you again. But something to have in place to understand that is what your boundaries are and knowing what you want and knowing what is good for you is probably the first thing that I needed to know that when I have a relationship. I mean, I'm lucky I've been with my husband for 14 years and he's absolutely wonderful. But it's about, I'd say, just knowing your boundaries and protecting your peace. And that's with any relationship. You've got to be 100% sure that the people that you're surrounded by are good for you, respect your boundaries, are kind for you. So that was what I had to put in place to make sure that I had that, what I've got now.
Well, that's amazing. And I love that you're in such a healthy place and you can speak about it because I think that's the most amazing, resilient thing survivors can do is retell the story and speak about it from a higher place instead of this broke me, I'm so sad, it's tragic, to I want to help other people heal and share my story to impact others. I think there's two ways to handle pain. It's like, yeah, this sucks. I'm going to eat ice cream on the floor forever and like not do anything with it. Or I'm going to impact others and feel my feelings, but then turn it into something, a book, a podcast, a conversation with a friend, be super vulnerable online, whatever, turn it into something beautiful. I think when we turn our pain into passion, we're rewriting the story.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, that was beautiful what you just said then. That was, you can tell you're a writer. Um,
Aww.
Yeah, turning your pain into power because I've definitely spent many a days on the floor with ice cream. I mean, to be fair, I still
What
eat the
flavor?
ice
What
cream,
flavor ice cream are you eating?
everything. But really, I'm a chocolate girl. See, I'm
All the way.
chocolate,
All the
chocolate.
way.
Have you had chocolate in the UK?
I've never had UK chocolate. I'm coming now. I'm gonna book a trip later. I mean, like on my way. Like what?
Come over. We'll get you chocolate as well. No, so cho ice cream, chocolate ice cream, any ice cream. I mean, I've lost my trail of thought now because we were talking about ice cream. Yeah, so use turning your pain into power, using that to power you and helping others and knowing that you don't have to be stuck in the pain is the biggest realization, I think, that knowing that other people can have that is what actually got me to do this coaching because I was like, I've had coaching. I know I don't have to be stuck in my pain. I'm not anymore. So I want to help as many women as possible to have the same.
You're amazing. No, you're amazing. And I love that you do this. I mean, you help survivors love again. So, what did loving again look like for you? What was that process? And was it scary? Were you in that weird state that sometimes survivors or people that go through hell are like, I don't deserve this. Oh my God, it's too good to be true. The shoe's going to drop any minute. Did you have any of those thoughts?
All of them. I had self-doubt. I had, so there's like layers for me. I had shame and guilt, which was never mine to hold. I
Never.
had self-doubt and I had to, just didn't really love what I saw in the mirror. I put myself down all the time. I would put myself down to people to protect myself. I would call myself too much and just all those layers of really, when I think about loving, learning to love again, it starts with loving yourself because when you fully love yourself and accept yourself, then you start to treat yourself how you should be treated. So you start to pick the right people around you. You start to do the things that you love. You're okay to say no because it's not about being rude. It's just about, no, thank you, that's not for me. And you don't feel the need to like please people because you're worried they're going to disappear. So I had all of those thoughts all of them. But when specifically reclaiming self-worth and loving again, I think it truly starts with loving yourself, and then you can go on to have people that you love. But it's really an interpretation of what you really want to think about as well. So it might be that for you, you want to love someone else again. But I feel like again that all starts from self-worth. When you really value and love yourself, everything else will be great for you. That's my true belief. That's what's true for me as well.
I love that. And, it really breaks my heart that sometimes, like, we go in a situation or we're in a really toxic, abusive situation with someone. And in that situation, we're like, well, maybe I deserve this. Maybe I just deserve people to treat me like crap. And it breaks my heart. Then you get out of that and you're like, I should never have let myself been treated that way. Why did that happen? Wait, what? And then you just have this whole like epiphany almost that that wasn't my fault, but why did I let that? You kind of look in the mirror and you're like, what in me thought that was okay for me to endure? And then you have to really have that healing self-love journey. And I think a lot of times that's like what we miss as humans. Like we don't love ourselves enough and we go find someone to fill things that we should be giving to ourselves first. And I think that's most likely the problem why a lot of relationships fail and don't happen the way we want them to.
Yes, actually, I completely, because for years I tried to fill this void I had inside me with friendships and so many different things, even like just because I didn't, as I said, I didn't really love myself. And so it was looking for it from other people. And I do believe that love comes from other people and they can build you up. But I was almost trying to get people to love me because I didn't love myself. But now I fully love myself and I accept myself, everything else around me has changed. I have extra love, but it doesn't validate me. Like I don't need validation. I know that I'm a good person and I deserve to be loved. And that's what I want other, well, everyone to feel really, but survivors, that's what I would love them to feel. Because you're unstoppable once you recognize your worth. You can do anything, anything.
I agree. And I think like also you can probably agree with me. Like you have to also have something for yourself outside of the relationship. You have to have a life
Yeah.
outside of it because things change all the time. If that relationship ends, then you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so empty. Like I can't breathe, I can't function. And then if you have, a good career, if you have people around you that love you and support you and a therapist or just good things going on for you outside of this person, yeah, it's gonna suck, but you're gonna feel a little bit lighter. I mean, have you seen women be so codependent on a partner that when the relationship ends, they just don't know what to do with themselves?
Yeah, I mean, me.
Real, same. Anyways, let's talk about attachment style. No, I'm kidding. I mean,
No, I mean me. Yeah, I mean um when I left my when I left my ex-partner, despite him treating me horrifically, I think one of the reasons I have also had maybe friendships that weren't great for me is because I was so fearful of being alone because I just didn't want to be on my own and I was just wanted anyone to be around. But actually now there isn't a relationship I need. I want all of them, but I don't need them because I know that any relationships that's good for me, I want them. But if I when I start to need them, and I feel like I needed them because I again didn't want to be on my own and I didn't really love myself. But now I don't need any of them. I want them all, but I know I'll be okay if anything happened. Not that I would want anything to happen, but it's about knowing that you will be okay. And I think the fear of being alone for me or not being okay is what drove me. One of the reasons to stay in friendships and a relationship that was really not good for me, very toxic.
I agree. And I think when you are able to look in the mirror and see the person you want to be, then you're like, okay, I got to get rid of what's holding me back.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like when you can sit and look in the mirror and you can just be happy. And like, for example, I used to wake up and I'd be like, I hate the way I look. I don't like the way I look. Don't want to look in the mirror. I feel very under pressure the way I looked. And it's not about looks, but now I look in the mirror, I'm very grateful. I wake up grateful for what I've got and that the body that's carried me, like we're under a lot of pressure, aren't we? Especially with like social media. Obviously, I've read your book and it talks about the pressures of stuff. And it's like, it's not about in my eyes it's not about how you look, it's about who you are as a person.
I agree.
That's Yeah.
I agree. And I think when you feel good emotionally, you tend to look better as well. And I think it's really interesting. And you can also agree, like I've looked back at pictures of me in really bad situations and you can just see the darkness in my face and just how unhappy I was. And I can like look at me now and I'm like, wow, like I'm so happy. You can even see it like from the outside. And it really goes to show you when you do that inner work, you're gonna feel better physically as well.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like when you like truly love yourself, you glow. There's
Exactly.
like a glow, right?
Yeah, there is a glow, and it's so healing to realize that and to have that, like, I'm never going back to the person that hurt me.
Yeah, and also just because look, thing is, we all have bad days, right? But it's like thinking about the language you use, and when you notice those words come in, it's like, no, thank you, not today. I don't need you. Actually, that's the thing
Exactly.
that I do when I have a down day and something a voice comes in and it's like, oh, you don't look. No, I'm like, no, no, thank you. Like,
Shh, you're not welcome here. You know what I mean? Like we think positive over here and you're not positive thought, so you can go. And I was like, today I actually gave one of my friends advice about thinking. I was like, you just have to remind the thought like this is unwelcomed, and then your brain will not think about those things if you continue to train it otherwise.
yeah, yeah. It feels almost a bit tricky at first when you do it, but once you start it, just be like, no, thank you, not today. It's
Exactly.
not needed today. Because don't get me wrong, there are days when I look up and I'm like, oh, not looking, as glowy, but it's like it's fine. All versions are beautiful.
Exactly. And I think when you think about it as well, I went through what I went through and I'm still here instead of I hate the way I look today. My body got me out of bed and it does so much for me. Shifting that perspective is so healing.
Yeah, and you that must be something that you definitely use as well, right?
Definitely, definitely. I mean, it's hard because it's sometimes like, you wake up and you're like, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm back where I started with these thoughts and feelings and emotions." Like I had a day like this last week and I was like, "Nope, I'm putting on a sweatshirt today. This is it." Like the thoughts got to me. I was like, "No, I'm surviving today. I'm not thriving." And that's okay, but I think just reminding myself like who I am without the pain or without the way I look or without whatever I've dealt with. I'm just like I'm a good friend, I'm a good person, I'm a writer, I'm people on social media love and appreciate what I do. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm not what I look like. I'm not what has happened to me. I'm so much more than that. Having that perspective is so healing.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
Yes,
I know that made
that
you
is
happy. You're
definitely,
like,
yeah.
you're like, okay. You're like, yeah. You're waiting. I know you're
Okay,
waiting for book two. I mean, it's coming. We're gonna have a book two. Don't worry.
100%.
So,
Yes, I am.
why do you think people go back to the person that hurt them or have that urge to? Do you think that sometimes stems from childhood?
That bit is a tricky one to answer because everyone's story is different, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't want to presume why everyone does it. If I talk about my scenario, I would say the reason that I stayed was because I didn't believe that I don't think I really love myself that much. And I'm not saying that that's the case for everyone else, but I think I didn't have the most supportive childhood as well. So I think depending what you've grown up with, depending on how you're treated, what you're used to, it can almost feel, for me, it felt very comfortable that I was back there. It's almost like the pain was comfortable for me. And I
I
didn't think I deserved any better.
I agree with you. And it's like it's almost like when you've been broken down so many times by so many different things in your life, you start to wonder, do I just deserve pain? And then if you don't have something to get you out of that mindset, then you're going to attract something that hurts you and think that's the only option. And then you realize like, no, hold on. Like, you'll see your friends in like healthy relationships and you're like, wait a minute, what I'm dealing with at home, is it normal? Okay, cool. Let's get out of it. Something gives you that epiphany. You're like, I deserve better than this crap. And then you start to heal. But I think it's hard because a lot of times, like I've studied attachment theory and I had a specialist on my podcast. And it's like if you've grown up with, an abusive parent or sibling or someone in your life, you're going to tend to think that that's what you deserve. And that's not true.
Yeah, or it'd be like, I mean, I've like seen domestic violence, or mine was from 9 till, or I've seen it, I've been around it. So for me, that was almost something I've seen and it's almost was normal for me. Not that I would say that's normal, but that was my normal. That's what I had grown up seeing, and that's what I, not in every aspect of my family, but I had been around a lot of that, and so it almost seemed, yeah, normal to me. I don't like to always use the word normal, but what I was kind of used to in a way in some aspects. So it didn't seem, it almost didn't seem like what I was going through was bad until I left it and realized. Then I was like, okay, this was not healthy, and this is not love, and this is not normal love at all.
No, exactly. I mean, what do you think healing looks like? I think a lot of times there's this image that it's perfect and every day is going to be sunshine and rainbows. I mean, what do you think when you hear that?
No. Absolutely not. I mean, there's some rainbows in it, but I mean, something I post about often is healing is not linear. It is not this, you know, it is hard. And there are days when it's like so painful. And then, like, you get at the end of it and it's like, okay, I can breathe. And then you look back and you're like, oh, okay. But there are days when it's up and down and it's round and it's not, there is, and it's not the same for everyone. It's all completely different. As I said, one day I could have a really, really good day, and the next day I'm feeling really, really rubbish. And like you said, you could hear a song, you know, you could hear a song or watch a film that you watched years ago that you didn't realize triggered you. It could be some a restaurant you went to or something you see. Anything at any point is like a potential, like a reminder. So it is not all rainbows. There are some rainbows, but there are also other. There's some storms and some rain and lots of wind.
Grab an umbrella, guys. Like you're gonna want one. No, it's so true, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like a healing journey is such a roller coaster to jump on, and it's like, whoa, you're like, yep, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna, find good. And then you have a day where you want to go back and you want to go backwards, and you're like, no, we move forward. We don't go back to what hurt us. We move forward. I mean, why do you think sometimes healing hurts more than what caused the pain?
Oh, that's such a good question. That's a really good question. Why do I think? Why do I think? You've asked a very good and a thoughtful question there, and I'm going to think about it. If I take my example, for example, healing for me has been like remembering it all. So whereas like you go back to something you're comfortable with, it's almost like you're going into new territory and you're going into something you've not experienced before. And that pain almost feels like a feeling you're used to. So I feel like for me, healing was harder in times because it was the unknown. So I didn't know where I was going or how I was going to be afterwards. And the fear of the unknown is almost what stopped me, I think, from trying to heal. So now I'm out the other side. I'm like, I can see, but when you're in it, you're just like, I don't know what this is going to be like. And I've already experienced so much rubbish. Like, what if it's worse? What if it doesn't ever get better? So I feel like that is for me was probably why it's the unknown. And I feel like for a lot of people, not knowing is really scary, especially when you've already experienced something horrendous, right? It's almost like, can I deal with any more emotions and feeling up and down? Because if we knew at the end of it we were going to be okay, we would just go and do it. But it's then I feel like it's the unknown.
I agree. And I think when you've dealt with such pain and, one certain way of life for so long, then something that's not that and it's good for you feel so foreign. You're like, I can't trust it. And then it's so scary. But I think we just have to do it anyways, because at the end of the day, life is long, but it's also short, and you have to put yourself first, and you deserve to live a life without pain. I believe that.
Yeah, no, literally, that is, I feel like everyone deserves to live a life that they want. And I think if, when you start to believe in yourself and you love yourself, all those fears about worrying what's going to happen, it doesn't matter. Because when you realize that you've survived all this trauma or, whatever experience you've had, you can literally survive anything. And we often, something horrendous happens and we're left feeling like we can't do much. But actually, if you look back at your, and I say this often, think of your life as a movie. Imagine you saw this character and experienced all you've experienced. What would you look at that film and think? You'd think, oh my God, this person can do anything. So that's what I believe.
I love that. And I think when you look at that perspective, like imagining yourself as a character or taking yourself out of just, oh, well, it's me, whatever. Because I think when you've been through hell and back, you kind of almost diminish yourself and you're like, well, it's just me. I'm the one struggling. Like, I don't have self-worth, it doesn't matter. It's just me. And you make yourself feel really small, but you put yourself in someone you love shoes or a character or something. And you're like, I wouldn't want my best friend to be spoken this way. I wouldn't want my mom to be spoken this way, or if I was watching my life as a film, I wouldn't want the character to deal with this at the end. So you have to really sometimes take yourself out of the equation and think about it differently. And you're like, yeah, I do deserve to heal. So I love that perspective. That just really made me think, oh my gosh, I'm going to go write a whole chapter about this. You're going to see it in book two. You're going to be like, what? Oh, look, I mentioned that.
No, no, definitely though. And also I think when you struggle to try and think if you can get through stuff, like this is the thing, like when you see all you've experienced, like me and you and anyone else that we've met, you start to realize, oh, actually, I'm pretty awesome. I am pretty strong. And actually, if I've survived this,
Right.
these days where you wake up and feel, oh, this isn't a great day, you can just look back and think, actually, no, I've I've just survived the worst. I can get up and do this. Like you
No,
say, just stick a tracksuit on, it's gonna be all right. Like you've
literally.
you've you've got past that. You can literally do anything. Anything.
Literally. It's so true. Like, if I have to send an uncomfortable text, I'm like, I literally went through hell and back. Like, this message is not going to kill me. Like, come on.
That's really true, right? Because sometimes I'm going, oh, I don't know if I should do, oh, I don't know if I should send that. And I'm like, you're literally writing some text and pressing a button. It's
Right.
it's gonna be okay.
It's
So,
gonna
but
be,
I don't you will be fine. Just you've got this. Like just
yeah.
it will be fine.
You've
Yeah,
you've
I agree.
survived. You walked through hell and came out an angel. Like, you can handle a small little iMessage. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think we
I
just cured
agree.
overthinking for everyone. I'm pretty sure we did. Go.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's really funny because some of these things that we handle on a day-to-day basis, we kind of forget all that we've overcome. So something that I really love to do is every morning write three things that I'm grateful for and then in the evening three things that I've achieved. And then you can just sit back and be like, oh, okay, okay. Yeah, this is a good day. Because even when you think you're not done much today and it's not been a good day, I guarantee there's something you've done that you can be proud of
I,
every day.
I agree with that. And I think also that probably helps with triggers. I mean, what tips do you have for anyone listening who maybe gets triggered by, because they have PTSD or they have an eating disorder or they just went through something really traumatic and, they experience uncomfortable feelings? What can you suggest for them?
So for me, what's worked is so I actually read something called The Power of Now, which is I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's talks about being very present. And for me specifically, I had a lot of flashbacks for years and years that would not go, and they would appear at the worst times. I'm talking about any point. For me, something that's really helped to recognize that I'm safe in my body is being present in the now. And actually, if something does trigger you, understanding, sitting with yourself and just recognizing I'm safe, I'm okay.
I
It's
love
just a
that.
thought. And also understanding that these thoughts and memories are thoughts. They're not actually happening. And then when you can sit and recognize that right now it's not happening, it's just a thought, and you have control of your thoughts because the power of now talks about how your thoughts use you. And actually you can use your mind as a really powerful tool. So knowing that you are not there, that was a thought, is a really helpful tool that's really, really helped me. Being present, being now, and being in my body is a great way to just stop those thoughts completely for me. And it's really, really helped. So that's a really good tool to have.
I love that so much. And I think it's always great to just like realize you're not there, you're here, and here is great and beautiful. And you have to focus on what's in front of you, not what's behind you. And it's easier said than done, but shifting your mindset is so healing. I really believe that.
No, it's actually what saved me. That's why I got into coaching because I spent years thinking about my past, and then I spent years constantly thinking about what might happen. So the constant worrying about the past and constantly worrying about what happened, and actually it's about being now. And like something I always say, is there anything going on for me right now? And it's like, no, you're safe. You're on your bed. You're enjoying a lovely podcast. Obviously now there's nothing wrong, but in general, just
Right.
being like, okay, what am I doing right now? Everything is fine. So, for me, overthinking as well, thinking that I've upset someone all the time because I was constantly made to feel like I'd doing something wrong. Again, it's like, have I done anything wrong? No, so everything's fine. Those kind of things, yeah,
I love that.
massively help.
And I think that's just so beautiful and healing for you to even be in the place where you can recognize that. And, you know, a lot of people are like, why did you have the broken mirror as the cover of your book? And it's like, because I thought I was looking at someone who was broken and had to shrink herself. And so I really relate to what you're saying, because at the time I felt so broken and I just did not recognize who I was. And that's the reflection I saw. And I think when you get to the place where you're looking at the mirror through a different lens and you're like, I deserve love, I love myself, so I'm going to go out into the world and find love because I can give myself love. I think that's half the battle. So I do want to ask you, like, what do you think are some 5 tips someone listening to this can go do to love themselves today?
Oh, I like these questions.
Mhm.
Okay, so 5 tips on how to love themselves. First of all, something that I love to do, which is really good, is writing down some things you're really proud of, some things that you really, really are proud of what you've done. Second of all is gratitude and recognizing the things that you are grateful for in your body. Third of all, I would say think about how you speak to your friends and what they think about you and your loved ones around you, and think about what they've said about you is really helpful tool as well. Like, how would you speak to yourself if it was, hopefully that made sense. Say it was you were talking to your friend and they were asking, am I making sense or am I now
Yes, you are.
waffling?
You are.
Okay.
You are. Don't worry.
Just waffling. Do you say that, waffling?
No,
No, it's when we talk
no.
too much and we go off on it when you're waffling. So,
We call it yapping.
oh, okay, love it. So, yeah, just thinking about how you would talk to a loved one and talk to yourself back. Um, oh, two more tips, two more tips. Do you know what really helps? Looking in the mirror and just saying some really lovely, kind things to yourself, and then picking some things every day that work for you. Oh, one more, setting boundaries that protect your peace as
I
well.
agree. And I think I'm gonna add a 6th one, going to the UK and eating cake with Becky. I think that's a good one.
And we can waffle whilst we're eating
Exactly.
cake.
Exactly. It's perfect. I'll bring my like microphones and we can just talk all day and no one can stop us.
What cake is your favorite cake?
I love a good chocolate cake. I'm not gonna lie, especially if it's really cold. I don't know. I feel like that's just so like healing, just cold chocolate cake or really warm. Like if it's baked, like just right out of the oven, perfect. Some coffee,
Oh,
dream.
it has to have loads and loads of like layers of cream and ganache. So I'm a
Exactly.
buttercream, and it has to be really moist, and you have to be able to several layers, and it melts in your mouth.
I love that. Yeah, I'm coming to the UK. It's happening. Becky, if we want to stay in touch with you or work with you, where can we find you? I mean, guys, you have to love her as much as I do. Come on. What are you doing with your life if you don't?
You're so kind. Thank you. Same to you.
Aw,
So Instagram, Becky Louise Smith, Facebook, um, and a website coming soon. But if you want to email me, it's coaching@beckylouisesmith.com.
you're a queen, and I'm so proud of you for once upon a timing surviving yourself. So you're amazing, and I
Same
just
to
find you
you.
so incredible.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure and honor, and amazing to you as well for all you've done. Your book's beautiful. I'm really
Aw,
excited to see everything else you're going to do.
thank you so beyond much, and I'm just so happy that we connected.
Definitely. And I'll hopefully speak to you soon. Let me know when the next book's coming out, and good luck with the rest of the podcast as well. You're going to do amazing.
Thank you. You're the sweetest ever, and I can't wait to release this one.
Thank you so much. Lovely to see you.
Nice seeing you. We'll text on Instagram in a few minutes, I know.
Okay, sounds
We're just
amazing.
girls.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
Have a
Bye,
great
bye, bye,
day.
bye.
Bye.